Hello from the Bureau. Tropical cyclone Kirrily crossed the Queensland coast at 10 p.m. on Thursday evening. And in this video, we'll take a look at what happened as it did so and how the now ex-tropical cyclone is looking over the next couple of days. We'll start by winding back to Thursday afternoon, and we can see a Category 3 tropical cyclone out over the coast. We did have that upgrade from Category 2 to Category 3 at around midday on Thursday as the winds around Kirrily strengthened. These are some of the strongest gusts that were picked up on Bureau instruments on Thursday. 143 kilometres out over Flinders Reef to the northeast. The Whitsunday Islands were 115 km/h wind gusts. In Townsville, 93 was the strongest gust we picked up in the middle of the city, but a short ways east it was 107 km/h, and this wind was certainly enough to cause a bit of damage. Widespread impact to trees, branches and power lines have left about 50,000 without power this morning. There was some damage reported on property and infrastructure, but at the moment most reports are just of minor damage, so a little bit of good news there. As we continue to watch Kirrily approach the coast, we will see that it went from a Category 3 back to a Category 2 as it weakened ever so slightly before reaching landfall. In fact, let's zoom in and we can see the crossing point here. It's about halfway between Townsville and Ingham on the Queensland coast, and it did reach the coastline at about 10 p.m. on Thursday evening as a Category 2 tropical cyclone. Then throughout the night we saw strong winds blow around the tropical cyclone. In particular, it was this northerly flow on the trailing flank of the tropical cyclone that blew really powerfully all the way from Cairns down to about Mackay, leading a lot of people in the area to say this one had a bit of a sting in the tail. For a lot of places, the wind was strongest after the initial passage of the cyclone. At 4 a.m. on Friday morning, we lost tropical cyclone status and it was reclassified as a tropical low, but that is still a significant weather system, and throughout Friday morning, this tropical low has brought significant rainfall to interior parts of North Queensland, which has in turn caused a response from the rivers. Here's a look at how the flood warnings were looking at 9:30 a.m. on Friday morning, including a major flood warning for the Etheridge River. Now, I've made sure to timestamp this scene here because these flood warnings are going to change through the course of the day as more river falls on both these and new river catchment areas. Now let's turn to the future and see how things are expected to look over the next few days as the tropical low initially moves southwest, then starts to curve on a more northwestward trajectory, bringing a broad swathe of rain through interior North Queensland and then throughout the weekend to the northwest of the state. Let's take a look at the rainfall accumulation here with a slightly new colour scale, really highlighting those areas of heavier rain over the next few days, and broadly following the path of this ex-tropical cyclone we can see some significant tallies. I've also got the forecast districts here, and we can see that it's the northwest forecast area, the Gulf Country forecast area, and the northern Goldfields and upper Flinders area, which are likely to get the most significant rain. Widespread 100 to 150 millimetres expected through these forecast regions, with some places likely to get over 200 millimetres between now and the end of the weekend. Also worth noting, there will be a return of showery, stormy conditions for parts of the southeast, with humid air that's been pumped in behind the tropical cyclone. Finally, with all of this rainfall here through Queensland through the weekend, potentially pushing into Northern Territory early next week, we've got a broad flood watch in place. These are all the rivers which may see further river rises in response to the wet weather associated with the now ex-tropical cyclone. So lots still to come across North Queensland, potentially parts of Northern Territory as well, as we do track this cyclone over the next couple of days. That is the video for now, but you can always get the latest info on the Bureau website, and as per usual in times of severe weather, follow all advice from your local emergency services. Thank you for watching.